I'm just fired up bringing up someone who gets me even more fired up when I listen to him. So his passion and humility in serving people is compared to none. And guys, let us welcome our own star in the house once again, none else but Jeffrey Morlock. Jeffrey, you are welcome once again to Empowerment Talks.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Boy, it's a thrill to be here. Thank you, Comfort. I really appreciate your invitation and getting me out of that heat today and bringing me in where it's cool. So thank you. I'm excited about what you're doing.
Thank you. I'm more excited and I'm jealous because you are there in the heat while I'm freezing here. So I hope we maintain a temperate temperature, no warm. You bring the heat, I bring the cold, I will make it warm here. So
together we'll create equilibrium. Yes.
Right. Thank you so much once again for joining. And I'm taking you straight to business. Jeffrey, I'm asking the very first question is very annoying, but don't blame me. It's not coming from me. Our people. So we have been promised soft launch and soft launch to hard launch for so many times, and it has not happened. So is it still worth the wait?
Oh, are you kidding? It is so worth the wait. You have never seen what you're going to see. You have never been subject to what you're going to be subject to when Mr. Mufar brings this thing online. And he's going to start with the O Founders. O Founders is coming up, but you need to understand, and this is why it's worth the wait. Because a lot of times you'll know that if we know the why to something, then the what really isn't so bad. And the why behind the Go Founders to the O Founders is simply that O Founders is a prerequisite to the big launch, to the big ONPASSIVE. It is a demo, as it were, so that it's got to be perfect. It's got to be right. Because when it goes online, it's like the baby ONPASSIVE. And when we got that thing and it's perfect and it's running and it's purring like a kitten, that's when we're going to jump into the soft launch, and it's going to be scaled. And it's going to be huge, and you are going to be loving life. And Mr. Mufar said as much on the last webinar with the Bangladesh people, which are beautiful people, by the way, and I love it. So if you're asking, is it worth the wait? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Yes, it is worth the wait. If it were me, I'd wait several more months just because I know Mr. Mufar wants to get it right. That's the way that he operates. That's in his heart and his mindset, and it's in his blood to do it right. And then when he gets it right, it's going to be right.
Wow, that is very exciting. You see, at the beginning, I said you get me even. I'm already fired up enough, but when you speak, you get me more fired up. So, guys, you are joining in now, and this is our own Jeffrey Morlock in the house. Give him some thumbs up, some love, and say what you think. Join us in the conversation. So that said, Jeffrey, you just mentioned one of the sweetest things we were going to talk about. You say all founders is what we are waiting for, or it's one of the things that is going to come out the first and so on. So what is it bringing along? What is it coming with?
Well, now when I say we're waiting for O Founders, what I'm saying is that O Founders is going to create a chain reaction. It is going to be the first event that's going to allow several other events to happen. And it won't be a long time. We're not waiting a long time. Once Mr. Mufara gives the thumbs up to O Founders, and we open that up and the Go Founders platform goes away, that O Founders is going to open the way to jump into soft launch. And my guess is, and again, this is Jeffrey's opinion, so, don't shoot the messenger. It's just kind of how I feel. But O Founders is probably going to be up for a little bit before we go into the soft launch, because they're going to be working the bugs out. They're going to, I mean, once we jump in there and you get 1 million founders or close to 1 million, by that time we'll be pretty doggone close to 880,000 founders. And when you get a lot of these, 10, 15, 20,000, 30,000 founders in there pushing buttons and clicking icons and working this magic in the O Founders platform, that may cause a requirement to be tweaked, or it may have some challenges in there, and they may go, you know what, it works okay, but if we tweaked it a little bit and did this, it would be a lot better and we could scale it better, because that's where we're going with this. They want to see how it operates because they've got in their mind scalability. Okay, so if we're using it at 10,000 people and it starts to do a little couple of things that are funny, they're going to say, when we do 1 million, we don't want that to happen. So let's do this. And they'll tweak it a bit, and then we'll play with it and they'll tweak it. And when he says, man, this is ready, it's purring like a kitten, life is good, that's when he'll go into soft launch. And that's when you're going to start. That's what you're waiting for. The bonus.
Thank you. I think you're just the best person giving us this reason of why, because nobody will come here these days without asking, without answering the why. And you are making it really, really sweet. And I just thank you for that so much, Jeffrey. You know, people are asking, you just want to add to the why we should wait. You know, I thought that I knew why I should wait, but when you explain, I see more reason, right? So people know that during the soft launch, we are equally going to test the old wallet, like doing the bonus things and so on. Right now, bonus old wallet is not being mentioned that much, and people are like, now that old wallet is not mentioned here, how do we launch? Or is it that we're still a bit far away? Because yeah, so what do you think about that?
It's not going to be far away. When we go, and again, we're going to start with the old founders. When O Founders comes online, it's going to have it's what I call an incidental. You've got to have a wallet, because without a wallet, you can't test the money. And when we go from the O Founders, which before soft launch, we won't be able to test the wallet, so he may not give us access to it. You'll probably be able to see it back there, along with a lot of other things, but they may not flip the on button to give it to us so that we can play with it. However, when we jump from O Founders into the soft launch, that is a prerequisite. You've got to have the wallets. It's got to be functional and fully connected. Otherwise, we can't test the money flow, right? Same thing with the marketing. Same thing with all the programs that we want. And follow me logically, because this is kind of where Mr. Mufar is wanting to tell us where we're going, right? Is when we hit soft launch, and we're in there, we're playing around and we're doing all sorts of neat stuff, you're going to be able to see, this is according to what Mr. Mufara has said previously in the past, you're going to be able to see the marketing tools. You're going to be able to see where the marketing and the traffic is coming from. There's going to be a control panel back there that's going to give you access to information to show how many of what went out and what were the how many million, or how far did it go, how many actually went out, what were the returns, where did they go, who got them, who saw them, all of that, right? And then how it was followed up on, and it comes back into the bulk mailing, and then the marketing, and then you know, it goes back out, and they go, oh, I want to join. They fill it out. It comes back, so they send them okay. They give them another site to go to so they can click and pay the money, and then bang, they got to pull the money in. And then once they pull the money in, they got to take that money and say, okay, part goes here, part goes here, part goes to this founder, part goes into this wallet. It's a lot of moving parts. But you've got to have all those together and working simultaneously, which is why you do not want any one little thing to go wrong or to be missing. You want it firing on all cylinders, so to speak. If you're a mechanic, you know, if you want to use that terminology or that metaphor, you want to make sure that everything is working. Because if it goes out and the marketing and somebody from the traffic clicks to pay and he can't pay, whoa, that's a big problem, right? So you want it smooth and you want it flawless, and you got to test it. If you don't test these things, and again, Mr. Mufara has said this previously, if we try to launch without fully, and I mean putting a heavy load on these and trying to break them, because there will be people, when you start working something with 1 million founders, and then after launch, 100 million people are using this. I mean, you see what Zoom happens, right? Zoom happens, and you get 20,000 people on there, and it's crackling, and it's just doing all, and it's just not pretty. We don't want that. We want this to flow so beautifully. And he's got it. He's created it through the sciences and with the math, and it works. It's beautiful. And he wants to carry that beauty right straight through from O Founders right into the soft launch. He wants to make sure that your wallets and the marketing and all the money flow and everything is working. It's being divided into the pieces it needs to be divided into and brought back into it, so it ends up in our bank, right? Because it doesn't just stop at the wallet. Now the wallet's going to connect to whatever it is or whatever financial institution is that you want it to go to, right? And you may even say, well, I want it to come into this wallet, but I want it to go to 3 other wallets. It's all got to work. So it's going to be worth the wait. And when it happens, life is going to be very, very good. And I apologize, I lost track of your original question.
You did not lose track. What everything you are saying is just in line, and it's very, very reassuring. Guys, you can comment to make sure Jeffrey knows he did not lose track in any way, because I'm just nodding because you are just on the line. And I was wondering, like, somebody should borrow me his brains, because you just like spit it out. And it's just so sweet. Thank you so much for all the information.
It's not me. It's Mr. Mufara. I mean, I love listening to him because of the way that my mind works. I understand what he's saying, and I can fill in the, a lot of times when we hear stuff and we get more questions. Well, if we don't get the feedback from somewhere, something, somebody, somehow, then our cerebellum, right, which is always scanning the horizon, looking for reasons for things to go bad, it's going to plug information in there. It's going to be bad information. That's why we're saying, is it worth the wait? Oh, I've been waiting too long. I don't know why we're waiting. So guess what? Our brain goes out and says, oh, you're waiting because it ain't going to work. You're waiting because he took the money. You're waiting for whatever the bad situation is. That's what you're going to bring into your brain. That is not the case. The case is we're making sure that it's absolutely dead on the money. It's right on. It's going to function without any bad, catastrophic at least. You may have some glitches in it when we start ramping up the power that we put behind it, but it's all fixable and it's all going forward very, very, very fast. And he has had this same methodology from day one. I mean, back in 2018 when we started, he said, we've got this plan, and bang, it outgrew that plan. He said, oh, we got to back up. He backed up, he reworked it and went forward again. Bang, we grew too much. Oh, we got to do this now. It's the same thing here, but only the fixes and the things that we're doing are getting smaller because we're already huge and we've already done all the massive work. So right now, we're just waiting to go in and clean up little things. And it'll be little things once we're in O-Founders, going from O-Founders into soft launch, it'll be little things. So each of those little things takes less time. So let me give you a timeline. Let me illustrate, if you can, mentally, so that think about 2019. We thought because of the platform that we were going to launch in, say, February of 2018 going into 2019. Because of the small platform, we thought that it was going to be somewhere around probably February of 2019 that we were going to launch, right? That's 6 months that we were going to be working on this.
Right.
It didn't work that way because 3 months into it, we went bang and got really big. We, crossing into 2019, we were over 10,000 founders, easily twice what anybody, even Mr. Mufara, expected. So he says, oh, okay. He made some changes, right? So we thought, okay, we're going to push that out 3 or 4 months. And then we got big again, and he started making more changes. We went from one office to another office, and then he started putting more products in. And the bigger we got, the more momentum that we got because of all the consciousness now. And when I say that, I mean the awareness of ONPASSIVE. That has an energy. It's got a power to it. Okay, it is a catalyst to drive the fundamental growth of ONPASSIVE because there's so many of us that have this intention out there. Right? And intention and the heart, you put those together, it's an electromagnet and it pulls it to you. That's why we're growing. And we get bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, now the changes we're making, they're not, we got to move office and get more staff. It's not that we've got more products to put out. It's not the big things, the platform, and it's not adding more AI. It's the little things. And each little thing that we put, it only takes a week or two to do them. So we're down to literally days or weeks before we start seeing this. So if you're tired, oh, I get it. Comfort, I get it. I've been here since 2018. And I remember talking to Mr. Mufara back in December of 2019 and telling my wife, honey, we're going to launch soon and you can quit work. Well, let me tell you something. 3 days ago, she quit work. So she's home with me. So life is good. So if anybody wants this thing, more than me, they want it a lot. And Mr. Mufara wants it a lot too, but he's this close. I don't know if you've ever heard of the old Get Smart, but I missed it by that much. And that's how close we are. When you consider we've been in this thing for 3 long years, we got about that much. If this is 3 years, we got about that much longer. So we're in it. We're in it to win it. And he's driving us forward and going to make sure that we do big time.
Thank you so much. Yeah, before we go to the next question, I would like you to know that one of my team members joined ONPASSIVE because he listened to you and Dr. Bill Williams and said, okay, if these type of people speak and speak like this, then I think it makes more sense than what you are telling me. And so you are influencing a lot of people. You need to know that.
Good. That's very good. And that is my intent. You know, people ask me a lot of times, how do I market? I don't market. What I do is I put out stuff for others because I know if I grow ONPASSIVE is going to grow me. And that's all there is to it. And you know what? God's word says, if you put the value out there, it's going to come back to you. Whatever you sow, you're going to reap. So, and I'm reaping it. You know, you guys are awesome. That's why I love doing this, especially with this bright smile you've got.
Thank you. So we have this other question like bonus. We have learned that bonus will be more likely for the founders with a bigger team than the ones with a smaller one. So is there any reason for that?
Well, absolutely. Now, I know that may be, again, if I can use the metaphorically, you know, a hard pill to swallow for some folks, because we have been told all along, you don't have to recruit or sell, you will be successful. That is still as true today as it was day one. I believe that 100%. I know that, you know, in my knower, that that's the case. Now, concerning the bonuses, and he has said this, the more active you are, we're going to see that. And we want to reward those that have really helped us build ONPASSIVE. We want to reward them. So part of the, he's got to test in soft launch. You've got to have money in the system, right? You got to have finances to test the financial flow, to test the financial system. So he says, you know, if we're going to do that, in order for us to test the money flow, that means we got to provide money. I can't just throw money into something because you got to test it every bit of the way, right? I mean, the marketing has to go to get the traffic. The traffic gets marketed too. Those that get the marketing click and go, oh, I want more information, or they say, hey, I'm ready to join. If they get more information, then that's more back and forth, more testing they're doing, right? And they say, okay, now I'm ready to buy. But either way, they're going to be ready to buy. And then they click, I'm buying. Now they've got to show that money has got to come into the system, and it's got to be divided up. Profit for ONPASSIVE, part goes here, part goes there. Who knows? I'm just going to say two spots, two ways, right? It's going to be divided into what goes to ONPASSIVE, and it's going to be divided to what goes to the founder who was the referring founder. Now, in saying that, when we start talking about the bonuses, that's where the bonuses are coming from. It's coming from the money coming in. And the bonuses are the mechanism, right? That's the way that Mr. Mufara can say, okay, we know the system works because we're taking $20 out of that X dollar amount, and we're going to make sure if the system is right and we've done everything correctly, $20 of that is automatically going to be funneled and end up in the referring founder's wallet. $2 of that is going to end up in his downline, and they'll be able to see that. So you've got to have them. You can't get away from not having money in there. And this was very tricky because in talking to the powers that be, in talking to the regulators and the governments and the people that want to get their little fingers in here, make sure that we're not a scam, they're like, well, you can't pay them on one hand, or if you do, you're going to end up doing something illegal because you don't have any products yet. And on the other hand, you've got to pay them because otherwise you can't test the money flow. So it's a catch-22. They worked it out somehow. And you know what? Ash is a genius at doing this. He's talked about it before, how transparency is absolutely key to everything within reason. Now, we're not going to give away the farm so people can come in and, you know, steal what we've got. And there are those out there that will do that. So these bonuses, he says, well, We got to pay the bonuses. So as long as we're paying them, let's make sure the lion's share of that goes to those founders that have been the busiest, that have been the most proactive, that have had the best mindset, that have been the ones that really went out and provided information to bring in and provide this phenomenal growth. So it would only stand to reason that they're going to start marketing with those people. And he's going to run it all the way through because you want to make sure that the entire system works throughout the entire founder base and beyond. So that's when he says, you may, I wouldn't expect it. If you don't have anybody in your team and you haven't done anything, we haven't seen any clicks in the back room, you're not liking people or you're not community savvy, you're not going in and making if you're doing nothing, don't expect anything in soft launch, right? If you're doing something, you may get something. If you get 10, 15, 20 people, you may get something more. If you got 100 people, chances are you're going to get something. If you got 1,000 people, I don't see how you can't get something. But and it goes right on up. So you can believe, some of these folks that have teams of 10, 20, 50, 100,000. I mean, you get somebody like that, you look at, some of the top leaders, you know who they are, and they've got many, many thousands. Wow. We got founders that will make 6 figures a month in soft launch. It's just the way it goes. Right. That's a lot of testing. So that's why he's saying that if you're not doing anything, don't expect anything in soft launch. Now, that does not negate what he has previously said when he says you don't have to sell or recruit, you will be successful. Because he also says once we jump into soft launch, we're going to be hammering your website. We're going to be hammering these products, and we're going to be hammering and trafficking for you. And we're going to make you successful. Regardless of whether you sell or not, you will be successful. So that's all about the bonuses.
All right. Thank you so much for letting us know. I think it's very clear. But you mentioned something in the course of explaining this. You talked about the regulators. And there's something I was presenting on passive too, and they asked me, who regulates on passive? I think the response here will help many other people to know this because they may be asked that and they will have something to say.
Well, at a developmental level, ONPASSIVE is responsible for ONPASSIVE. However, every financial institution or every marketing company or any business at all has certain laws that they have to abide by, right? ONPASSIVE is no different. So in establishing the business as, I think it's an LLC, I'm not entirely sure. I tend to stay away from it because I don't care about it. But when you get with the lawyers are business lawyers. They know businesses and they know how to establish and run businesses legally. And that's their shtick. That's why we have got one of the greatest, one of the best, and they have a global reach. I think they're based in the U.S., but our legal team, and it is a team, okay, there's not 1, 2, or 3, or 4. There's a team of them, and they are very savvy about business laws globally, which is exactly what we need because we are global. And if you can imagine how much that will take to understand, it's a little bit different for the U.S. It's a little different for India. It's a little bit different for French. It's a little bit different over in Switzerland. You jump over to Germany or Croatia or the U.K. It's all a little different. It's a little different over in Papua New Guinea. The nuances alone is mind-boggling, but they've traversed it. They've migrated through the minefields, if I can say that, in a business legal sense. They're on top of it. They're transparent. So when you say, gee, who is responsible to regulate ONPASSIVE? That is ONPASSIVE. That is the ONPASSIVE team, and that would be the legal team in ONPASSIVE. But they have a greater set of rules put out by government and governing officials and regulators, right, usually in government somewhere, that they have to follow. But the short answer to your question is that would be the legal team within ONPASSIVE. So ONPASSIVE is.
Okay, thank you so much. So guys, if you are joining now, I'm in the house with our own Jeffrey Morlock. Just give him some thumbs up because he's giving us very useful information, just exactly what we need to know right now. So that said, Jeffrey, it is highly likely that the price for founders in the soft launch could be more than $97. And equally, the activation fee may increase. So is there any figure we should be working around? A bit more than the approximate 250 or 97 or so?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, in reality, if we looked at this, the value that we're getting for the 97 that you and I paid, Comfort, whoo, baby, baby, let me tell you, you're not going to get any more. That's, to me, I would pay 100 times that, knowing what we've got now. Now, having said that, if there's a price increase, I mean, it could be anywhere from $5 or whatever the founder price is, the new founder price could be anywhere from $5 to $1,000. Who knows? We don't know, but I don't believe it's going to be anywhere near the top end of that. Right. I personally believe that if there is an increase, it will not be that much. If it goes above 150, I'd be surprised. Would I pay 500? You bet I would. But nobody really knows. Now, the subscriptions, I think it's a safe bet. If you say, you're telling prospects or you're telling your family, somewhere probably between $200 and $300 is pretty good. It may be a little less, a little more. We're trying to make it extremely affordable, and that's the mindset that Mr. Mufara has got. Think about this. Now, he got into this whole thing because he wants the 97% of us that have been failing to be able to get into this. And there's a lot of people where $200, $300 is a lot of money. I mean, I was talking with a guy in Libya. He said, I don't have $97. I just don't have $97 to do it. I want to do it. So I'm working with it. There are a lot of people that 97 is a lot. But as far as the value, easily worth 1,000 or 10,000. I mean, easily. So I wouldn't worry too much about the pricing. Whatever it'll be, it's going to be the lowest price that they can possibly get and make it affordable for the vast majority while not bankrupting ONPASSIVE or not giving away the farm, if you know what I mean. In doing that, he helps to realize his goal of making this massively affordable so that those people that have not had the opportunity prior to this can be successful. And that's what we promise, that they will also be successful.
Wow, thank you so much for the update, Jeffrey. So the latest update shows that we could launch with 14 or more products and add more as they become available. So how many so far are ready to go? And maybe when is the next mega product launch? We've been missing out on this for a while now.
Well, and that's a very good question. It's a wonderful topic, and we need to understand. So I want to try to manage a couple of things here. I want to manage your perception. And on the other side of that, I want to try to manage the expectation here, okay? When we talk about soft launch and the products and the mega, that puts it all in like one sphere, right? And it's really, you don't want to do that. What we're going to end up doing is rolling this out in phases and scaling it up. Because if you're sitting, think about this, if you're in your vehicle and you're sitting at a stoplight and you're not a race car on the racetrack, right? And as soon as that red light turns green, you floor it. You're going to start burning rubber, and you got a real good chance that something's going to go wrong.
Right.
But if you just kind of hit the thing and you start taking off, very smoothly accelerate, you'll know if something starts to happen, right? So in this way, ONPASSIVE is not going to hit soft launch and then flip a switch, and then you're going to have 16 products automatically jump online and go live, right? We don't want to do that because something is liable to. That's not a smart thing to do. So there's probably going to be 6 or 8 that are ready to rock and roll on day one, and those are all integrated, and they will seamlessly work together. As a matter of fact, some of them need some of them, because you can't do, your marketing without having your bulk emailing or your videos, your wallets. I mean, some things you've got to have together. So I think that Mr. Mufara is going to be using his head, like he always does, and says, These several products that we've got that create a core, we want those out there first. And once we see how those are working, let's throw another product in the mix. And then a week later, maybe throw another product in the mix. And then this way we ramp up. And see, this also gives them the benefit. It gives them the leeway to do the marketing that is going to be required on the front end, because as one product goes out, they're going to start marketing another product, market, global market. A week later, bam, that product's out, and you got people racing to it. I mean, think about how the iPhone. Every time they come out with another product, they market, bang, and then it sells out. It's tried, true, and tested. Mr. Mufar, I'm telling you, he's worked marketing for 25 years. That's what his degree is in. That's his education. And he's got some smarts. He's got some common sense. He's got some book knowledge. He's intelligent, okay? He's taken the mystery out of it, and he understands this. And so once we get going with that hard launch, it's going to be a nice, even flow. It's going to be phased. Getting back to your original question, my guess is he will probably have 8 to 10 products that are ready to rock. I think he's got probably somewhere around 14 that are ready to go right now, and a lot of the other ones are in development in various stages or need some tweaking. And he's even got stuff he hasn't shared with us. So that's how I would expect, and that's the expectation that I want you to have, is that when we go from soft launch into and by the way, it's no longer being called soft launch. I'm hoping it's being called the VIP launch, and the hard launch is now the official ONPASSIVE launch. So I'm going to try to use that terminology, and that came from Mr. Mufara on the Bangladesh webinar, because soft and hard it's just so nebulous. You're not really sure what that means. But the VIPs, and that's the founder base, in my opinion. That's for us. That does not involve customers or resellers outside of ONPASSIVE. That is for us and for the internal mechanization and testing of ONPASSIVE. And that's the time we can party, and if you've got people that are in your team, that's when you can smile, sit back and go, wow, I'm going to watch this thing work and watch the money start to trickle in, because when it starts trickling in, and the system is working, right? So that's what we want to look at. VIP launch is soft launch. ONPASSIVE hard launch, or the hard launch, is now the ONPASSIVE official ONPASSIVE launch. So,
wow, a lot of development. So I'm just excited. I'm fired up, and I'm just like waiting and watching. And this is good news for us. You saw my mega product launch. Actually, here I meant the one where they used to bring the product and then show to us, the founding members only. You remember when we launched like the Obless and so on? That was where I was coming from. I understand that we cannot take them. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. So there's just someone is sending you greetings. That's Rakesh. I just put it on the screen so that you can see it.
Oh. Hey, Rakesh. Oh, wonderful. Good seeing you here, brother.
Right. So,
and yes, ONPASSIVE is amazing. And it's only going to get better.
Exactly. So there's this other one, Jeffrey. They say if anyone is complaining that they don't know how to pay for ONPASSIVE due to the country restriction, maybe on cryptocurrency, in the future they'll be able to buy crypto directly from ONPASSIVE to pay for their activation. So tell us a bit more about that, please.
Let me kind of start at the beginning.
I'm not going to speak something you don't want to put here, so take your time.
Well, the subscription fee, the first month, every founder that we have, the first month that we go live, we're expecting every founder that has, whatever in their team to pay.
Okay, guys, Jeffrey is freezing. I hope that I'm not freezing as well. Kindly let us know, please. If you're watching, let us know if you can hear me at all, so that while we wait for Jeffrey, so there is exciting information. So we need to know and prepare our minds that henceforth, it's very highly that we are going to, the registration fee is going to increase during soft launch, and the activation fee may be slightly above $250. That is what Jeffrey just told us now. So people should be prepared. Tell your team members, tell everybody, tell even the new founders. We don't talk about approximate 250 of activation fee anymore, because it is likely going to be more, but not so much that people will not be able to pay, because the value on its own is not something that is worth just $250. However, they understand, he says, Ash still understands that there are people who are in need. Some people find $250 as very little money, to others is so much, and Ash has that in mind. And definitely he says everybody wins, and it remains as such. So equally about bonuses, guys, stay tuned and continue to share. Jeffrey will definitely be right back. So one of the things he says, people who will most likely have bonuses during soft launch are those with the most founding members on their team, those who are working hard to add value to our business. So that doesn't cancel the fact that everybody wins. If you are not able to build any team to invite people to join the business, you don't expect anything during soft launch. However, that is not what is going to determine the change, the total transformation of your life. So keep on keeping on, keep on trying. If you can bring somebody, fine. If you can't, it doesn't change anything. You may not have anything during soft launch. However, what they are giving in, we're not entitled to during soft launch. The bonus that is coming is not an entitlement. It is just to test the wallet. However, testing the wallet, they give it to people who have been working hard to sell the business by bringing people to join, by logging into to the back office. So if you can't bring people to join, this is so interesting to know. Log into your back office as many times as you can in a day, and comment, share, and do one or two things there. Note is being taken, because when we comment and share it, equally it has its own effect. It adds value to our business. So let's not just stay. Let's always do something, because this business is ours. We strongly hope that Jeffrey comes back, guys. Just be patient a bit. I hope that he comes back, because there was one important thing he was still about to say. But guys, if you are joining in now, registration fee will no longer be $250, maybe about $300, which is equally not too bad. I mean, an activation fee, and then registration may equally go up. So tell your team members, get informed. Let's keep on keeping on, right? Let me just look at the question we've answered before and give you those who are coming now. I think I listened really well. So, Jeffrey gave so many reasons why we need to keep on waiting, because my question was whether is it still worth the wait, right? He said, of course, yes, it is worth the wait. And he gave so many reasons. For example, they just want to avoid the problem of launching today and then glitches coming up tomorrow. So they're polishing up, they're preparing everything so that when we hit the ground, that we are launched, then we are good to go. We don't have anything to worry about. And so far, the latest development is that we could launch with about 14 products. And he says about 8 are ready, a few more are being fine-tuned. And so they will send them out in, they don't launch them all at once, like one after the other. While the other one is out there selling already, they keep advertising the other one and send them out just in stages. And that is how it is going to work. So guys, I really do hope that Jeffrey comes back. But if he doesn't come back, I'll definitely bring him back again next time. And then what else? There's some other important thing he said. Just wait, hold on, guys. Yeah, about the $20 bonus too. He says it still remains. So if you bring one, the person who joins directly behind you will still have the $20, and from line 2 to 15, you get $2. But then this is for those who have at least people in their team. And if you don't have anybody in your team, keep on log into the back office over and over again, as many times as you have in a day. Go there, go to the community and comment, do one or two things, share, post something. You are active, you are adding value to the business, and so you deserve a reward from our CEO. So guys, the network kicked our speaker out, and I'm just happy. Thank you all for joining. Hi Alan, nice to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. You just came in when Jeffrey was kicked out by this StreamYard. These are the things that just make us want to have our our things launched so that we can finally be free from all of these hitches. But definitely we are getting right there. We are getting there. So it's not too bad. And let's keep on keeping on. All right. I think he's here, guys. Don't move. Jeffrey is here. Yay. Welcome back. Oh, no, he's gone. Okay. Are you there? Yay. Guys,
Hi.
why don't we just give him some thumbs up and some loves and stuff, guys? I think he's been doing a lot and he's been patiently doing this for us. So thumbs up as he joins us again. Jeffrey, welcome back.
I apologize for that. I lost internet here for some reason, so I am now on a mobile hotspot.
Okay.
So now we were talking about the bonuses and that sort of thing and the subscriptions, right? And when we start that first month, it's expected that the founders are going to pay that first month subscription.
Right.
After that, we're expecting that the subscriptions will be paid through the profits driven by the ONPASSIVE machine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we have folks right from the get-go that are unable to fund their accounts, right,
Mm-hmm.
to activate their account by paying the subscription, but they are a founder, if they are a single founder with nobody in their team, they will still be successful. It is going to take a little while because they're not going to have the paid traffic and they're not going to have the resources available to them because of paying that subscription. That's going to very quickly flood them with traffic and all of the other products. That is not to say they will not be successful. It will take them a while, but eventually, through either their own marketing or ONPASSIVE's marketing or generosity from founders who will pay their first month's subscription or whatever reason, they will be successful and they will eventually get that first 3 in their team that will then pay their subscription, and then they're off to the races. So although we expect that first month to be paid, again, you will be successful. And it's like Mr. Mofar said in the webinar with Bangladesh, we're going to keep hammering away at your website and we're going to keep marketing until you are on the path to success. We're not leaving anybody behind.
Right.
Having said that, if there's any way that you can get that paid, if you can borrow it, if you can get it from your upline founder, if you can do your own marketing and get your own 3 people in, whatever way by hook or crook that you can get that first month paid for, that is going to jumpstart your success. Because once you get that first month, that following month is going to be paid, and that opens up all the traffic and all of the products for you.
Wow. Yeah, thank you. So thank you for bringing this up. The last thing you just said, does it mean, because people have been a bit confused. I know that you have said it, but go back there again. People have been confused whether the moment that you wait to get, maybe to raise your own activation fee, is there going to be anything happening to your account, or is just as a standstill and you start seeing money in it after you have paid your activation fee?
If you once we launch, if you do not pay the subscription fee, that's going to put you in a bracket where you'll still have products. You'll have the free products and you'll have things happening within your team, but you won't have the paid traffic and you won't have a lot of the heavier products that are part of that subscription. You know what I mean? So you'll see things happening in your account, but they're going to be very, very slow.
All right. Okay. Thank you. I think thanks for that clarification, guys. I hope you hear. Let's take this information to our teams, because this is what people discuss every day. I don't think we can go a day without talking about this. So I think it's very clear. So there is a few more, Jeffrey. I'm sorry for keeping you this long again.
No, you're fine. You know, let me back up and indicate to you as well that that's one of the founder benefits is our ability to pre-build our network, to pre-build our customer base, Comfort. If we've got founders out there that still don't have, maybe they're brand new, before we go into the into the VIP launch, we really want to have at least 1 or 2 or 3 founders in our team if we can do it at all, because that gives ONPASSIVE something to work with in the VIP launch and start to build your team. If you go into that soft launch with 1, 2, or 3, then chances are you're going to come out of that VIP launch with 4, 5, 6, 7, or 10. You know what I mean? So then once you hit the official ONPASSIVE launch, the following month you're going to end up with, or within 90 days, you're going to end up with, 30 people, and then 90 days after that, you're going to have, 3 times 3, 90 people, 100 people. So it really behooves you. It is a very good idea to do as much as you can in pre-launch, because it's not costing you anything.
Right.
But it will be extremely beneficial to you in a very, very big way. That's all.
Yeah, I think this is just a question you have already answered. Gautam Sharma is asking, can we get to do beta testing as early as possible?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Somebody is just asking, just posted a question here. I believe that you answered it though, but let me just put it on the screen. He says, can we get to do beta testing as early as possible?
I hope so. I want it to start today.
We all hope so, right?
Yeah, we want it as early as possible, because once we're in beta testing, and by beta testing, I'm assuming what he is talking about is the VIP launch and the bonuses, because beta testing to me is when the bonuses become available, that means they're testing the money flow, and that's beta testing. But we want to go into that as soon as we can. What we don't want is to rush Mr. Mufara so that he feels like, and not that we could. I mean, the man's brilliant, knows what he's doing, and he's not going to be hurrying for nobody. He's on his time schedule, and I am very, very grateful, because if it were up to me, we'd have been in beta 2 months ago, and we'd have probably had something go horribly wrong because we're in too much of a hurry. So, yes, we want to do beta as quickly as possible, but we want to make sure that we're right and the products are right and everything is right before we unleash any kind of beta for the VIP launch.
Okay, thank you. There's just 2 more, please, Jeffrey, that I'm keeping you again. So we understand that customer base is residual for life, right? So I really want to know, is it the case with only us founding members who will become the first customers, or is it the case with everybody, resellers and customers who join after launch?
Okay, good question. The founder base, right? Once we launch, once we do the official ONPASSIVE launch, I fully expect that we'll have 1 million founders. The founders position will no longer be open. So what we have is what we have. After the official ONPASSIVE launch, we're going to start what Mr. Mufara termed or calls the super campaigns, which are, again, they're phases, and they're all, he knows how big they are. He knows what their reach is. He knows the marketing capability. He knows the numbers. He knows, how soon they're going out, what the time frame is. All of those marketing campaigns that he's putting out to benefit the founders, to bring in customers and resellers, and every one of those customers and resellers go into the founders' teams and build depth into the founders' teams. Now, as a reseller, those people are also going to be reselling the products, so they will also be marketed. ONPASSIVE will market ONPASSIVE's products for those people. But the thing is, anything after the official ONPASSIVE launch that is brought in through the ONPASSIVE marketing is going to be going into the founders' teams. So when you say it's residual for life, That's exactly it. Our teams, month after month after month after month after year, will continue to grow. Every month, your team's going to be a little bigger because Mr. Mufara has got these marketing campaigns that are bringing more people into your team and more people paying subscriptions. And that, again, points to the residuality or the residual income, because the bigger your teams get, the more residual income you're going to get because the more money the teams are paying in. So teams are going to grow forever and your residual income is going to grow forever. And that's how you create your legacy. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. So is that what is meant by when I hear you great leaders say when you are founders, when you occupy the founders position, you are in an elite position. Is that what you mean by that?
Well, yeah, the founder's position is the only position currently available. It's the only one ever been available, but it's only available.
Elite position. So I think it's just adds up to what you explained earlier on. Is that the case?
It is an elite position, absolutely. Yeah, it's the premier. This is the position you want to be in because you have your team not only built for you in the VIP launch, but the depth of your teams, right? I mean, if you build wide, you go in and you get 15, 20, 200, 1,000 people in your team going wide. Every one of those founders have teams built deep, right? Deep by ONPASSIVE. So it is a very elite team. The founder's position is going away, or no, it's not going away. The ability to become a founder is going away. Now think of Bitcoin, and this is the term that I've used before. Bitcoin is only going to have 23 million Bitcoin available. When it hits that number, they're not going to make any more Bitcoin. What do you think that's going to do to the cost of Bitcoin when they're not making it anymore? It's going to push it up. It's going to skyrocket. That's when the real money is going to start being made. That's when people are going to start really doing some stuff with Bitcoin. Same thing with founders. Right now, you can get in, but because we don't have markets on or products in the market now, we know where they are. The founders do. Nobody outside of ONPASSIVE really knows what we're doing, and they're looking at it like, they've been doing this for 3 years. I don't know if I'd trust it. But you got to believe. Mr. Mufara was talking about us believing. If you believe, this is going to work for you. You know, you don't have to go out and market and sell. But if you believe, it's going to work for you. When we do the ONPASSIVE official launch and the founder's position is no longer available to anybody, that just skyrocketed the value of being a founder. And we will be globally known. Founders will be globally known. The years might take a couple of years for some people, but even right out of the gate, I mean, Mr. Mufara even said it himself. You look at, a lot of the top leaders, and they've got these massive teams. They're going to be known globally. Globally, people are going to know who they are. Yes, co-founders, being a founder, elite. You will be in an elite status with being a founder.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. If you are joining now, the last thing Jeffrey just said was, if you believe it's going to work for you. So do you believe or do you still doubt? If you came in late, then you just want to go back and watch this video from the beginning and get even more fired up than I am right now. So kindly share with friends, share with loved ones, and let's get ourselves informed. Thank you, Jeffrey, for doing this for us. We really do appreciate, and we appreciate you so much. Somebody is saying there is so much positivity in the air. My bucket list is growing day by day, ma'am. Thank you.
Too. Mine too. I love, if you look at Bing, I have a screensaver that pops up with a picture every day on Bing. It's a new picture. And I have seen some of the most beautiful places. I mean, Italy and France and Switzerland, even in Russia, even in the Ukraine. I am going to see these places. There are so many places in the U.S. I want to go see. There's so many places I want to go with my wife. And there's so many things I want to do with my grandkids. I'm telling you, on passive is just going to make your bucket list huge, long, and you're going to be able to check it off because every month your team is going to get bigger. Every month your residual income is going to get larger. And every month you are going to be able to expand out into the world, and you're going to be able to take your happy mindset and your goodness, and you're going to be able to share it. The more you share with those out and around you, the more it's going to come back to you with love and compassionate action and just fulfill your life. So you're at the right place at the right time. You're on the right track. You're on the right train. Man, we're heading. You're going to feel the vibration. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Thanks again for your time. Thank you for your patience and your good heart, because you are touching lives, and I can show you, you are touching lives. Anybody who hears about you wants to listen what he is saying, because every word that comes out of your mouth is a blessing. Thank you so much. And yeah, guys, if there's any other thing you would like us to discuss here, just drop it on the comment section and tell us exactly what you want. I think I'll always get someone to do that for us. So thank you too for tuning in, and see you again soon. Bye. Okay. So Jeffrey, we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I hope it. I hope everything works for you, and I hope that was what you needed.
Oh, sure. You can see from the reactions. I was just trying to pin them on the screen so that if you have time, you just peep on them, right? If it's not,
Yeah.
if it's somebody will not tell you that the bucket list is increasing, right? So thank you.
I like this platform, Comfort. I like this much better than I like Zoom.
Oh, I know, me too. It looks really good, and this is a free version, you know. So when you get the paid one,
Yeah.
it's worth it. Yeah, right.
Were you able to record that?
No, because it's free. If you get the free version, you can't record.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Right. Right.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you. If I can help you again, let me know.
All right. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. See you again soon. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.